Get out of here, Sasha.
You got mix running? Trade you a sour bear for a gummy cola. Broadcasting live from Hypercube Subbasement 27 Studios in the future capital of the former Spanish Empire. This is time for the show, your weekly Hypercubist Subgenius emergency radio broadcast and sub-ether pylon firmware relay. I'm Dr. Fox, your handsome, beautiful, wonderful host, and filling in for Flux Rutenberg. I'm back at the console again tonight, but that works out because I got some buttons to push. If you haven't figured that out, coming in via Hypercom, which you can join too. Go to timefortheshow.com, click the Discord button. It's Peace. Say hi, Peace. Well, go on. I set you up. That's what you wanted, right? You had something to say.
It cut out. It cut up. It cut out. So so we mean Flex Rutenberg's not here. I think that's some bullshit.
He's dead. There's nothing we can do about it. We'll have to move on. There will be a start. The wake is the best part. So just keep your derby fully stapled to your skull for this one, because tonight we're going to go through some of the footage of X Day. This is now if you're listening live on freethinkradio.com, now several of these clips, a lot of them are the focus is the audio. You're not losing a lot visually, but there is a visual aspect if you're watching here on YouTube, especially when you're scanning for booties. So I've gone through these videos, and most of them don't contain anything. But if I see something, I'm gonna skip through it. But it's okay, because I've learned how to blur out parts of videos on YouTube this week, thanks to last week's video game session. Which I didn't see you at the big video game play-in, Peas. Where were you? You weren't repping Team Vegas Sphere.
Well, I only do one game, and I probably don't even do that. I'm not a big gamer anymore.
No online.
My last game that I played a lot of was. No, I used to play EverQuest back in the day, and Worlds of Warcraft a little bit. But like when it first came out, Command and Conquer. Those are probably the last games that I played. They're not even Red Alert, games, just like basic games. Command and Conquer.
Red Alert is about when I came in. I was a little slow on that. Slow myself. We're slow. That's why we do this show.
Now, I'm excited about tonight's show for a couple of different reasons. First of all, I was under the understanding that we had lost all semblance of any kind of video or audio recordings on our part, and now today I've heard that you've got some stuff from Stang, but he indicated to me that you might have retrieved some lost files that we thought were gone forever into the nether regions. Is that correct?
I was able to scrape up about 17 gigabytes of audio, of about which 3 minutes is usable. Yes.
Oh.
Yes. About one MP3's worth of salvation. But I was able to get...
What's the matter with the rest of it?
Well, most of it's subgeniuses on microphones. And subgeniuses on drugs running the microphones. Remember, it took us way past day one to realize that the pad switch was enabled on the interface. Now, everything that was put together, as much as anybody could try to harp on it, this wasn't a professionally rented rig and gear that was brought together. This was everything that everybody had in their home that was willing to contribute to a big attempt here. So, we brought the mixing boards, the cables, the mics, the mic stands, the laptops, the USB audio interfaces, the hard drives, the recorders. We brought all of that. The cameras, those tripods, microphone stands. It's a lot went into just attempting to get it. And so it's nice to see that we did get something out of it. And there's several good chunks. I do have DJ Beelzebub Crow's set, which is about 3 hours of live remixing, and he's not just playing other people's music. He's actually using samples and cuts, and he kept the party moving for quite a while. So I've got 3 hours of that, and I also believe I have the Too Late show.
Oh, that's great. Now, can you tell the listeners what having the pad button means? Because a lot of our listeners are not French trained audio engineers, and so they may not be familiar with how that can mess up the set. So I was wondering if you could elaborate on that function a little bit more.
It's something I've only recently come into as well. You know, I received very minimal audio training when it came to boards and stuff like that. But in my PA experience, pad seems to be like a filter that you put on for high gain instruments and things like that, synthesizers, electronic pianos, things that would produce these high ranges, and it kind of keeps it in the range of your PA system. But we were just talking through it, so there's basically a filter on top of us talking. And even so, when it comes to the board, it's split in two directions. One went to the live stream directly from the board. The other went to the PA through a SPDIF USB interface. And that is where that filter was enabled. So on the stage, it was really muffled and no one could hear what they were saying, even though it was still considerably loud and the volume was up. But at the other end on the stream, it sounded really good. And someone at one point, we were checking Free Think Radio, and someone's like, "Turn it up just a little bit," and I just bumped the master knob up 5%, and then the stream was great for the rest of the show. So a lot of the stuff that I do have recorded sounds better than what you have on some of the videos that are recorded because the audio is so muffled. It's
like doing a Zoom call with the little cat face filter, but with only audio.
Yes, and most of this is basically the X-Day Meow Mix edition.
All right,
which I think was about 10 years ago. So yeah, we'll take a couple ganders in and around here. I've got a playlist here. So we'll go through these. I'll set up the first couple of clips.
Okay, set them up.
The first three that we have here, which I need to move this down to the bottom. I don't want to spoil that. This is on Friday, and we have the beer coming in. So this is footage from Stang of the beer coming in, and that's going to segue into the first drunken rant. Actually, I believe this rant came earlier in the day, so everybody's not drunk yet. And that's going to feature Peas and Fid and Flux Rutenberg. And when we finish that, we'll come back. So here we go. This is the beer, and I'm going to swap over this camera before I do that. So I'm going to go ahead and transfer that over.
I'm not seeing.
All right, here we go.
There we go. It's the only one they had, dude. Orange. Oh, that's the delicious beer, and that's all. Now we must be just loading this up.
This is just coming
because
in.
the beer pile was because the beer pile was so much larger. This is just the first 5. There we go. And you can see now there's a chain, of people.
Orange Blossom.
Now one case is 4 6-packs.
Oh, this is dangerous, man.
Yeah.
This is an accident waiting to happen.
So it's a true case. It's 24. Now you see, a lot of these guys were trying to go, look how strong I am. I'm taking 3 or 4. I took one at a time. You can hear Stang chatting in the background there.
Yeah, how many? There's only going to be about 40 people here.
No, we crib a lot of the source material.
Yeah, I cannot remember his name, but he was great.
This just
Look, here I am. You see what everybody else carried? Look, everybody else carried that, and I'm like, oh, I don't too.
Yeah, man.
I'm
We
so strong.
trust us. We saw.
No, to terrify. I'm so glad this didn't happen under my watch.
Well, I had to pace myself, dude.
I fear.
So you guys aren't farmers. You don't know how to take 5, 6 at a time. You can't work all day doing that. You can work all day moving 2 or 1 or 2 at a time.
Shit.
This guy's just showing off here. Yeah, that guy's just showing off. Now, you were way ahead of me in the line, and are only now just getting beers, so I feel like I might have done the 2-case thing, but you did the hold back and let everybody else get some a little bit. Here I come again.
That's my job.
Broken
Yeah. Now, see how I've done this now in the time it's taken other people. It was delicious, I guess.
Well, Hal's in a really cool place.
Is he?
Yeah, his RV is fabulous. He's got AC, his own toilet.
Look how handsome I am.
A bed with plush pillows.
Oh
on
my
it,
God.
Microwave and a big TV.
Now I'm doing the hang back because I could have got
here we
mine
go.
already.
We have Dr. Hal opening the beer. Hold on.
Yep, that's a lot of beer.
Here we go.
How I began my career as an alcoholic.
That's
Many people take years to fall under the spell of John Barleycorn, but here at the Church of the Subgenius, we have our accelerated program of inebriation for the enlightened, which I will now initiate.
See, I never knew that song John Barleycorn was about beer. And now Hal, I learned something from just Hal talking. Every time Hal opens his mouth, I learn something.
The chaser.
Yeah, just the 1 case of water.
There's
50 cases of beer, but there's 1 case of water.
Bill Murray would not approve. When he's bartending, he makes your every other drink a glass of water.
Funny, it doesn't matter anyway, none of us are. No, that's not fair. I paid my $35. All of you now, you literally have to be my friend now. I paid you. Is he funny now? You all have to be my friends, and you all have to think I'm super funny. You have to think I'm funny. Hey, man. I paid for it. I have a card in my wallet. Is this guy funny? I don't know. All I see is a bunch of honey on Joe. Man, go, go, go. Give me that swag. Give me that swag. Give me that swag. Give me. Time control. Bob never asks you to meet on the square. Bob never says that it's level here. Bob always knows what's going down. Bob is a friend and he's
This is some
coming
good
around.
Mason references there.
He'll be here. But the exodus will be clear.
I think after this, Flux Rutenberg and I had a rap battle. A lot of energy.
Gimme, Bob. Gimme, Bob. Gimme, Bob.
You know, Stang played this on the Hour of Slack, and I didn't like it. The visuals really helped it a lot. It might be nostalgia. Looking back at the wonderful days of X-Day.
Heads down, butts up, heads down, butts up, heads down, butts up, heads down. Gimme, Bob. Gimme, Bob. Gimme, Bob. Gimme, Bob. In my butt, put it in my butt.
See, that kind of lyric makes me uncomfortable.
Put it. Get some consent. Don't do it without that consent. Get some consent. Then you'll be super content. Fuck peace. Fuck peace. Fuck peace. Fuck peace. Fuck peace. Fuck peace. Fuck peace.
Look, I got underarm hair like a hippie chick.
Fuck
got in the
So
shot.
I
Good
sent
for
my
you.
$35 to Ivan Stan. I thought I'd be funny, but I wasn't.
But he wasn't.
I left my whiskey in El Segundo.
El Segundo left its whiskey in you.
Anybody got any water I can use?
Water is for. I mean,
Bags?
don't make me say it.
Oh.
All right, so yeah, that was the what was that? The Peas Fidrutenberg LRG Good Jam .mov from the staying files that we got in there, and that's we got another jam up. Already, this is my favorite episode of the show so far. So
Because if we opened with that one and that was pretty good, this next one's got to be even more spectacular and amazing.
okay, so the next segment. So I've got a long segment here, and I don't know. This might have also been on the hour of Slack. Everything kind of runs together for me right now, but this is featuring Reverend Beef Supreme, reading a book by David Icke. Is it Icke or Ick? Reptilians Underground? I forget. And then there's a 47-second cut of a jam. And then we're going to go into segments featuring the walking catfish. Now, there's a long video in there that I might just spin through, but we'll tackle that when we get there. Again, I have to make sure that there's no nakedity in these scenes, but from everything that I've put in so far, that's what we've got. So here we go. Here is Reverend Beef Supreme.
The term phantom captures the essence of the phantom self, something apparently seen, heard, or sensed, but having no physical reality. An image that appears only in the mind, an illusion, fictitious or non-existent, often when intended to deceive. Believed to be real, even though illusory.
He's a
phantom self is
mathematician.
the downloaded self-identity of your name, country, race, culture, religion, science, belief system, family history, life story, and the education, media versions of virtually everything. These information and perception sources dictate the sense of who people think they are. They focus human attention almost entirely on the five senses and become isolated from the insight, knowing, and expanded awareness of beyond the body, infinite self, which can see, perceive, and understand what phantom self cannot. Infinite self speaks to us through intuition and knowing, a state of awareness beyond thought and the lassoed perceptions of the five senses. If we lose touch with infinite self, we become isolated in phantom self, and the only source of information and insight to get a fix on life in the world is the system, in the form of education, media, science, and other agencies of deeply controlled five-sense reality. We are meant to stay connected with infinite self, to be in this world, but not completely of it in terms of our perceptions of reality. But the overwhelming majority are manipulated into an isolated bubble of awareness and self-identity, phantom self. Once entrapped, they live a fake identity that holds them fast in a prison perception of I can't, little me, and lifelong limitation. When we stay connected to our infinite self, we see the world for what it is. When we lose that connection, we see the world for what we are told it is. The realms of infinite self are consistently described by near-death experiences and others who have been freed from the myopia of phantom self, body-mind. One set of the out-of-body state. Everything from the beginning, my birth, my ancestors, my children, my wife, everything comes together simultaneously. I saw everything about me and about everyone who was around me. I saw everything they were thinking now and what they thought then, what was happening before, what was happening now. There is no time, there is no sequence of events, no such thing as limitation of distance, of period, of place. I could be anywhere I wanted to be simultaneously. That is infinite self, or some of it. And in most people, this has been silenced in pursuit of mass control by a force I will be exposing. Once attention is imprisoned in phantom self alone, with no other perspective, we become a babe in arms to the tyranny of this hidden force which created and controls human society as we live it in today. Phantom self is not who we are, it is simply what we are experiencing. Confusing the two and being manipulated to do so is the foundation of human control, programmed limitation and worldwide perception of the powerless little me. Infinite awareness can be likened to an ocean, and five-sense awareness to the crest of a wave or point of attention within the ocean. When five-sense awareness loses touch with the ocean and operates in isolation, this is the phantom self. There's a saying that goes, we see things not as they are, but as we are. Everything is perception, and from that comes behavior and what we will and won't do. Exploration of self and reality is way down on the list of priorities for most people. Who am I? This is so often the last question, not the first, as it should be. It falls way behind perceived essentials like what job shall I do, what clothes shall I wear, what phone shall I buy, how do I make lots of money, who shall I marry, where shall I go on Saturday night. Sport alone for many light years ahead of in priority of what is reality. I'm not saying those other questions should not be considered or sports should not be enjoyed as a pastime and entertainment. I do myself. But if it's not given perspective, then our peripheral vision can be blocked, and this is vital to seeing what those in authority don't want you to see. George Orwell wrote in 1984, football, beer,
My
and ball
fez,
gambling
that's me
build up
right
your
there.
I
heart.
have no idea
Keep
where
them
my
controlled,
fez
not
is.
difficult. How can we answer any question effectively
I
without
have
some
no
grasp
idea
of the
where my
master
fez
questions?
is.
Who am I? Where am I? What is this reality? And that I daily experience. If you didn't understand water, you might try to walk across it and drown. The fact you do understand, at least in one sense, means that you either keep away or learn to swim. Humanity is drowning in confusion.
So he has a whole long thing of this, and it's pretty good, but it's
Yeah, let's,
I always I thought it what might be better to be read as opposed to have someone orate it, because there's a lot of heavy stuff in it, but it's too long for the stage.
Yeah, we got it. We got well over halfway through here. Here's one of the the infamous foam pit.
Yeah. Yeah, we thought there would be more excitement about this, but people seem to avoid the foam pit, except for like one person, maybe two, like the plague. They had some kind of innate sense. Now, if you don't know this, around the corner of the stage, there's this giant, like, rain barrel thing that fills up with water, and you just pour dish soap into it, and that somehow goes up to the thing and makes this foam stuff. But it was all suspect.
You said they walk?
Now, what's this here?
Okay,
is this the fish? What
here's
is that?
one of the first walking catfish videos.
Okay.
So this is where it started pouring down rain.
It's mud.
And noted.
Oh, I guess he's holding his breath. Whoa! Now you're talking. That's amazing.
So these guys were everywhere.
Oh,
Like
when he
these guys
when
are
he can
up
slide, he's
way
slow.
uphill.
He has to walk, he can walk. I get it. He's a slacker. Nice whiskers.
Now, of course, Stang
Oh,
thought we did this for him, that we somehow got these fish and put them in his path. We probably would have if we'd have thought of it, but this is a natural
I've never
phenomenon.
seen the like of it. It was
And he was able to walk sideways throughout most of the weekend for some reason.
My ancestors.
Guilty of the Vertical Video Award.
Yep.
Man, this is a
Now that's
miracle that day.
Beef Supreme is done with his bit. Now they're just walking around trying to find another puddle to go into.
She said that they would be all over the place pretty soon, and they are. There's like 5 of them that I can see just indoors here on the porch.
Look at them go.
Yeah. Now he thought I would be really freaked out because I'm already pretty impulsive by this time, but I took it in stride. Those are just for looking for. They didn't care if they were upset when you tried to fish them. Well, that must be in her house. I never saw that.
I got to watch for walking catfish.
Oh, everything's upside down. That's why it looks like an aquarium. Oh my God, Stang. Tripping me out.
And a sailboat.
Yeah, nothing I can do about it either. I thought that
I think I
might be
hear
able.
X Day. Will it be 2021? Only in Florida.
Yeah. You can see how we defied gravity and stuff.
These guys are tired.
That one's taking a rest because it's tired.
Bucket. This guy's still trying to get to the swimming.
Now, these fish have a mucous membrane that they surround themselves in, so to pick them up or handle them, takes off that protective membrane, and they also have very sticky barbs that they can give you quite the nasty jab.
Here comes
So
Fid
you have to be
Chuli.
careful when you're wrestling them.
Now, if you see here, Fid Chuli is walking pretty steadily, just one hobble at a time. This is right after Fid
limping around and he's
bit it,
fucked up feet.
trying to jump onto the stage.
That shirt is.
Yeah, look at him crippling.
Walking, isn't it?
He's-
I'm hobbling around just about as bad as
Yeah, me and Hal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Well, we comes by.
This was, when you said time control, this is not what I had in mind. I didn't know I was going to age this quickly.
Oh, you think any of us did?
Oh shit!
That didn't. You did sign the application.
You got me there. Hey, I'm Team Supersphere, by the way. Supersphere. Don't be taken in by those Hypercube guys. It's all about Team Supersphere here at X-Day 27,000.
Now, for those you don't know, we had two teams like it
Hold
was
on, they're going to
Baptist
talk about. They're going to talk.
Division Bible
They're
School.
talking about that. Hold on.
Well, the problem was we never
Here,
found
I'll
a way
back
to
it up.
follow each other.
Supersphere, by the way. Supersphere. Don't be taken in by those Hypercube guys. It's all about Team Supersphere here at X-Day 27,000.
I've been trying to understand this team thing. I guess that's sort of like the evangelicals and the Holocaustals. But the problem was we never found a way to tell each other apart.
That's why we got armbands.
Get it? See, you guys are so advanced, you future people.
We got it.
Too bad you're aging even
Fucking
faster.
Ed
than
Urban.
I know. I barely.
We're not idiots.
When I was on my way to go assess the damage after that monsoon in my tent. I'm sure my tent is this fucking swampland right now. So I was gonna go hobble my ass.
Oh yeah,
down
Big
there.
Chili had
I don't even have any more voice left. How am I gonna
he
do?
picked a poor place for
time
this
for the
time.
goddamn show, and then my sermon that I'm supposed to do after that. Stank, help!
These guys have only done 10 or so X days. Man, these kids these days, they got rabbit pee for blood.
Help! It's not as easy as it looks. And just send your $35, please. I'm struggling over here. My knee hurts. I'm almost out of cigarettes. Please.
Oh my God!
For only $35 a day, you can sponsor a
I feel that at
subcutaneous-
any time during X Day, there was only like 1.5 cigarettes amongst 40 people
Does it always come with the
at any
shirt,
given
shirt
time.
every day?
I made this myself.
Man, the shirt's wearing you, dude. The shirt's wearing you, and it's doing it.
Hey, hiker.
I was hoping Xanthia would get him out.
And one last walking catfish video, only because this one features Fid trying to catch
Had
it.
like a dozen of them in there, flopping around. Gotta be careful. They got a little.
Now look how Fid broke all the rules about handling the catfish. Look, and see, he's probably injured. His hand is bleeding. His hand is bleeding already.
That guy.
But his knee hurts so bad that he doesn't even notice the barb goes into his skin.
To this thing as fish go.
Yeah.
It is a fish. But they're related to our grandparents.
And Stang's explaining that it's a fish to all the idiots who thought perhaps a bird had fallen from the sky, lost all of its feathers and its wings and its little legs, and perhaps that's what it was. But didn't seem like there was a lot of people going down that route. But he wanted to make sure, if he were thinking it, to turn back. That way leads to madness.
Well, I've got a couple more segments here for us to go through, and it's about time that we take our break.
Break.
This next clip is about 5 minutes long, and it is Papa Joe Mama's first rant. I believe the first couple of seconds are cut off on this video. However, I do have the entire audio recording. So I'll be getting that together. So here's Papa Joe Mama, and
You got a movie clip of it, right?
we'll be it's a movie clip.
Yeah, and the visual on this is great. You if you have an opportunity right now, I know everyone loves Free Think Radio, but if you have an opportunity, go look at YouTube real quick, because this is this is one of the highlights of the entire weekend. Are his two performances? Wouldn't you agree, Dr. Fox?
Absolutely, absolutely. And he did an hour slack, I think twice.
Yeah.
And so he got some time in. All right, we're gonna do our quick PP laps, and when we come back, we'll go through a couple more. But here is Papa Joe Mama.
Several accepted and survived. So the union changed the rules just a little bit. They set out bayonets pointing upward at the bottom of the drop and took wagers on how many would impale themselves. Many did. But even more gruesome was the fighting that occurred out on the river bluffs. The Yanks held the high ground, forcing the rebels to push up the hill under withering gunfire, only to be repulsed and forced back down time after time. Then the South tried something different. Why not provide some portable protection? They took some of the bales of crops from the surrounding farmland and started rolling them up the hill like a rotating rock. It stopped the bullets, and the Yankees started to worry. Then they came up with another idea of their own. They heated their bullets and fired those at the bales. And sure enough, it worked for a while. It set the bales on fire, and yet the rebels kept coming. Even when the smoldering and often burning bales made it so much more difficult, they continued to fight. And when the battle was over, the rebels had won, despite overwhelming odds. Lexington was safe, at least for a little while, and the South thanked God for their miraculous victory. But was it really divine intervention that provided the victory that day? Or was there another forgotten factor, a secret to their success? And what the Hades does this have to do with Bob? Well, for that answer, dear friends, I'd like to reveal to you an often overlooked little detail about this battle. That crop that the bales were made out of, it was a common cash crop back then, not cotton, but hemp, a plant used to make rope and other fibrous products. It is the older equivalent of cannabis and Haverfrop sipulops, the sacred subgenus herb from Bob's pipe. The more those bales burned, the more inspired those rebels became. And as the Sisyphus is concerned, well, what kind of fumes do you think he's breathing? With all those drug users and dealers burning in hell along with their residual THC and hidden bodily stashes, who is to say how much of that skunk-like smell in hell is sulfur and how much of it is weed? This is not only the secret of Sisyphus and the Battle of Lexington, it is the prime ingredient to subgenius resistance. Do I hear praise Bob? Praise Bob! We will never give up, never surrender, no matter what the odds, because we are the modern day rebels. Only we are not fighting for slavery, we are fighting against slavery. We're fighting the same slavery the conspiracy created when they traded the subjugation of one race by another, using whips and chains, with a modern subjugation of all races, using time cards and security cameras. They replaced the overseer's whipping with the modern manager's tongue lashings. No, you can call it slavery light if you like. All the oppression, but only 1/3 of the actual effort. The 24-hour bondage has been replaced with a 40-hour work week. But don't expect any gratitude from us. We all know they only did it to make us more interchangeable and expendable. It was a cost-cutting measure, because like everything else, even slaves are cheaper to rent than to own. There's also a color difference to the modern warfare. It is no longer the blue against the gray. It is a battle betwixt the pinks and the grays. And come X day, the burning bullets of the pinks will be no match for the titanium plating of the gray saucer ships, nor will they be capable of outrunning the laser cannons of the Axis Starfleet. So embrace the struggle leading to X Day, dear friends. The fierce fighting that shall occur no matter how bleak it may appear. Remember our history and fight on. Remember the secret of Sisyphus and the secret of the South's most amazing battle. If you can't beat them, joint them. And don't worry, be frappy. Here it is, the word of Bob. Praise Bob. Amen. Praise Bob.
Oh my God, we are not worthy. Unbelievable.
You're watching Time for the Show, broadcast live on Hypercube Go on YouTube, and every week, 10 p.m. Eastern on freethinkradio.com. This show is made possible in part by packslack.com. Full disclosure, I own it. So head to packslack.com and buy things. I get the money. And it wouldn't be a heaping, helping, good dose of a great time if it wasn't for everybody on our Patreon. That once again, I didn't pull up. Look at that. I'm a big old stupid goon. What's your favorite part about signing up for the Patreon, Peas?
Oh, all the neat extra content and shenanigans and hijinks that you get. Why, it's chock full of both hijinks and shenanigans. Your American recommended daily allowance.
And that goes to our new member, Reverend Dr. Sim, Big Bob South, Brother Other, Michael Marcus, Triology Soaps, Reverend Vanessa, Loch Ness, Trenchy, Agent Lloyd, Negative at Night, Long Dead, Scowl Pod, Hazel of the Windmills, also does the music for the standby before the show. Did you know that? Check Hazel of the Windmills out on YouTube, you goober. Count Sloth, Caller 23, who hosts What the Fuck Did I Just Show? Sundays at 10 on freethinkradio.com exclusively. Reverend 80, Dr. Cosmac, and Apostasy X Fenord. If you want to be a jolly good boy and get your Slack points, then head on over to patreon.com/hypercube. That's what keeps this show going. As long as you keep giving, I'll keep showing.
Don't think about it.
Don't forget, head on over to hypercubego.com. Pick up your membership kits and your journeyman resource stickers. Everything you need to be a good hypercubist and erecting pylons the Hypercube way. Find out more at hypercubego.com. And of course, all the footage that we've got this week is courtesy of Reverend Ivan Stang of the Church of the Subgenius. If you have found that you are without Slack, do I have an opportunity for you? Eternal salvation or triple your money back. Subgenius.com. You'll figure it out. And now back to time for the show. All right, Peas. That's all the good boys and girls. Oh, we got to tell them about the soap. Buy the soap. Buy the soap. I've been told that people are requesting the nothing bars. Nothing bars are coming in. And also, the new Rubik's Cube album, Hypnostank, is up on packslack.com. It's available right now. You can get it there. I'm behind on everything. So we watched Papa Joe Mama there. Now, was that your first time meeting Papa Joe Mama?
So here's the thing. Everybody talks in the church about famous people from the past and stuff, and everybody talks about Papa Joe Mama. And, Peace, what do you think? Did you ever hear that? No, I never heard anything, never read anything, don't know anything about the guy. But it turns out I was friends with him on Facebook for almost the minute I got in the church, but he is under a different name, and I never realized they were the same person until that day. As a matter of fact, for a big part of X Day, I got him confused with Buck Naked, and I kept trying to say he was Buck Owens. And it seemed funny to me, but I was so impulsive that day that it's not surprising that I thought that was funny. But no, it was my first time ever seeing him perform, and boy, what a mind blower it was. And as good as that was, the next night he did an even better one.
Wow. Should we watch it?
Do you have it?
I do.
We should watch it.
Oh, hell yeah.
Hello, friends, and welcome to the real X-Day 1998, the final reckoning! And we know it's the last X-Day because the conspiracy has shown their hand. They're always lying to us, but now they're not even trying to hide their deception. It's obvious for all to see. We've always had a crisis, some sort of emergency to justify them seizing our liberties and enforcing their anti-democratic top-down dictatorships. For 2 decades, it was the Islamic terrorists. But now that Bin Laden and ISIS are gone, we've swapped that out with a new threat of domestic terrorists. The angry white male. Now I ask you, do I look angry to you? Do I sound angry to you? And what in Bob's name could I possibly be angry about? Yes, such a threat is always out there, literally hundreds, and yet even while this threat is precipitated throughout the world, hundreds of thousands of brown people are fleeing across our border. It'll be millions in just a few months. Too bad they forgot to tell them they're heading in the wrong direction. But in case that threat isn't scary enough, the conspiracy has another, even more frightening threat. Mutating virus strains. COVID was great while it lasted, but now the guild is off the flower. People are starting to come out again and resist their mandatory shutdowns and mask mandates and digital passports, so along comes COVID 2.0, the never-ending story. It changes, don't you see? So you're never safe, whether you're vaccinated or not. And in the unlikely event that the other 2 threats are not scary enough to beat you down into submission, we have the ultimate endgame. Climate change. The world is going to die by 2032 unless you surrender all your power to the conspiracy and do everything they want. And if you express any doubts, you're unscientific or Luddite, because the debate is over. And how dare you even question it? You see, it's not enough to have one doomsday scenario. No. We need all 3 simultaneously, a trifecta of terror. They want you to feel helpless and that there's nothing you can do to avoid your doomsday damnation. We're all going to be blown up by white supremacists while dying of a deadly virus variant, just as the world burns up from rising temperatures and then drowns in rising sea levels. If one doesn't get you, the other ones will. Conspicuously absent, however, from this list of life-threatening doomsday scenarios is the one threat that really is real. And that will be here tomorrow, July 5th. I'm talking about an all-out invasion by X's exterminators! They're on their way here, now! Do I hear praise Bob? Praise Bob! Yes, this planet is doomed, and we can't change that. We don't want to change that! For the wages of subgenius sin and Dobbsian defiance are death! But just because Earth is doomed doesn't mean we are. No.
It's great the fireworks in the background because it sounds like the battle's already begun.
As I look out amongst our subgenius audience here today, the only bumming I see is of cigarettes, and perhaps even a few other inhalable substances. No. We are not bumming because we're looking forward to the end times. The planet may be condemned, the conspiracy may be condemned, the pinch enormous may be condemned, but we aren't. We've made our choice, and once the shooting starts, we aren't going to run away from the fighting, we're going to run to it! Now, we're going to be joining the aliens not only on their mopping up operations, but also when it's all over and going with them to Planet 10, X's promised world. A new promised planet with no pains and normalcy. It all sounds rather unbelievable, doesn't it? But then again, what in the last few years was believable? I mean, really. If you have a Dobbsian doubt about whether Bob will fulfill his promised prophecy, Just look how the conspiracy itself is starting to prepare the public for the mere possibility of aliens. They are showing aerial footage of military aircraft shooting UFOs. On TV, they're showing this footage. The very last order by the previous president was to release all information regarding UFOs within 180 days. That was signed at the end of December, and by my math, let's see, that's 6 months, it comes out. Well, what do you know? It comes out right about July 5th. Here we are. Now, why would they do that? Maybe when people go bursting in and they say, oh, run to the hills. They're here. They're killing us, the UFOs. All the conspiracy ties will roll their eyes and go, oh, please. They've been planning that now for months. They're just releasing the footage. Once again, the truth is the precise opposite of what our leaders and the media are telling us. There is a reason for us to be excited, and his name is J.R. Bob Dobbs. Do I hear praise Bob? Praise Bob! His wife has been hiding in plain sight for all these years, right beneath the conspiracy's nose, right beneath his nose. We didn't expect them to ever admit it. To paraphrase the 007 movie Goldfinger, no, Mr. Bondage, we expect you to die. And die they will. Die they must. For if this planet is to be purged of its conspiracy, contamination, and torments, it must be completely cleansed. And that we cannot allow this sickness to be spread throughout the solar system, nay, through the universe, through all sorts of other hitchhiking spacecraft. The only race that can be trusted to be, well, how should you say, allowed to continue to exist would be the subgeniuses, for they have a lifelong history of fighting the conspiracy. They won't carry that terrible virus with them to Planet X. So have confidence, dear friends, that this conspiracy will go all out like this, that they wouldn't reveal their hand unless they knew the gig was up. This is going to be the final X day. All the real subgeniuses can feel it in their bones. Do I hear an amen? Amen! Amen! That feeling is a good feeling, friends. The opposite of what the pinks and normals are going to be feeling in their bones as they're fed through the conspiracy pink people shredders. But hey, you can't make an omelet without breaking a few eggs, right? Or breaking a few heads come X Day, as we assist with the mop-up operations and enjoy the biggest fireworks of all time. So if you ever had any wonders, just ask yourself this. If it were a real X Day, would it be crowded? No! It would only have a select few. We are that precious few! After all, weight is very expensive on a flying saucer going in all sorts of directions in outer space. So you expect it to be small and potent. And that's what we shall be tomorrow. So prepare for the real Independence Day, July 5th, tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. as we finally leave this cursed conspiracy world. Amen.
Wow, he's so good. And he's all in
Ladies
costume.
and gentlemen, Papa Joe Mama. Another round of applause.
That's a handsome shirt.
I was about to say, I like how you stopped talking as soon as you came back on the screen.
One mastic mystery master, one Dr. Argus Fox.
Thank you, two people.
Oh, that was good. Put that audience in their place.
I did. So this video goes into the next segment, which I feel is we're gonna wrap up the show here with this next clip. It's got the Bobby Awards, and it does have several mentions to people that really put their butts into X Day. And in fact, even our apology tonight, Peas. I have your apology from X Day. So we're gonna play the Bobby Awards, and then the Peas I'm sorry bit there. But after that, if you stick around, and I'm talking to you, I do have the footage of Bob being killed, as well as 7 a.m., which I might hold on to 7 a.m. for a little while longer. But here is
Even wanting more.
Here is the Bobby Awards. Now, I want to let you know that I'm just getting back into X Day after quite a excursion. So I'm quite out of breath. But as you can see, when I'm not wearing a shirt, that's not hard to believe. So here are the Bobby Awards.
Look at that shit. We smoked it. Oh, righty.
I did not get one.
He's right here. You get this one, and you.
Breaker all channels. Where's the
That's open. It's gonna.
I got to give them out like I was an indentured servant.
Everybody, X Day! Yes! Man, did I have a lot planned, but I had to take care of something, you know. Me and Bob had to have a quick chat. You know what I mean, guys? You guys smell something? Well, I smell something. It's a little something called recognition. As Dr. Legume once said, X Day is not a vacation. It's a drill. And you have survived so far. And so to give a little recognition back to the subgeniuses who have made it this far after the fish left the water, after the Heaven's Gate decided to reopen, we're going to add the sweltering heat and all the humidity and the toilets. Remember, guys, we got flush toilets this year. All right, we are going to give a little bit of recognition to subgeniuses who have stood out. That would probably be you. If you're here, I want you to come up around this side. Pease has your Bobby Award. If you receive one of these later, feel free to leave it for the next subgenius. But we do have a little token to let you know what we think of you. And those are courtesy of our big sponsor this year, Subject T Change and Agnes Beef, who couldn't be here today, but they personally donated over a lot of money. Way too much. And yeah, we spent it. So can I get a round of noise for Subject T Change and Agnes Beef, please? We'll see them on the saucers in just a few hours, everybody. We're going to go through these in a little bit of... I didn't write anything. It's okay, Dr. Fox. You can write it while you're there. All right, so we have rewards for the Eager Beavers, Trixie and Vincent, the people that responded to our emails the first and corresponded with us the best. Those are Eager Beavers subgeniuses, Trixie von Mothersbaugh and Vincent. Best copyright infringement goes to Rubik's Cube, everybody. Riding the Dusty Saddle, Ray Brazen. Clink Clank Award, you know what I'm talking about.
These are a little bit like the Dundies.
Rapture. The Shutterbug Award goes to Dr. Cosmac. What else we have? Our best improvised hotel manager, Lord Ferg. Lord Ferg, come on, he put everybody up. You know it. You were in there. Oh my goodness. Most help and least intrusive to Reverend Evans on the security team. Band Data Auction Award, Flux Rutenberg. The Bleventeenth Amendment, Reverend Funny Name, outside the gate. The Not Rage Quitting Award. Is he still here? Elvis Martini. Oh, he just left. Oh, no, he's back. Showing off how to read, Reverend Red. Yeah. You've heard that one stings, right? All right. Best band with at least 2 immigrants, Danny Feedback.
The Upcycle Award, Reverend Amadeus Shoeleather, Trotsky's Water Cooler. Most Disgusting Couple, Reverend Negative and Katana 007. The Showcase Award, Big Bad Johnny Grindstaff. Most Improved Subgenius, Caller 23. The Mr. Sister Award goes to those who ran the Bloody Mary bar this year. My favorite. The Friends of Kyle Award, Papa, Joe, Mama! And of course,
who's Kyle?
Our Good Sports Award. Our guests of honor, all the way from that place we had to buy tickets and we totally got right the first time. Reverend Stang and Dr. Al, thank them for coming. They're here for you.
Oh, they glow in the dark. I had no idea till just now they glow in the dark.
I make a call to get them over here, but as you can tell,
or maybe they don't.
What the fuck's the schedule, right? So we want to give a huge round of thanks. We have a small gift to give her tomorrow. It's a plant in a pot that she'll be able to keep on the dashboard of her pleasure. Did you see her pleasure saucer? She's got her landing zone already. Oh man, ladies and gentlemen, Exanthia Octoshroom and the land of wind. But there is a very special award, this year's Golden Tooth Award, the Teeters LaVerge Legacy. Ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, is that the pad filter?
Fid Chuli. Now, if I didn't call out your name, you should have tried harder. But if I didn't call out your name, it's probably because I've been running in and out of meeting so many subgeniuses that have come from all over the place.
My
so
Trump
make sure to
moment
come
there.
up. Please get your picture with Bob over here if you're cool with it. Let us get a picture with you with Bob and come see Fid. You got the bag? The other bag? All right, go see Fid for that complimentary participation award, you fucking snowflakes. Now, I know they're not here right now, but there are subgeniuses, and then there are people
Sounds like Wrigley Field.
Suffer subgeniuses. And there is one person that if it wasn't for them, we never even would have started this. Money was spent. Time was spent. Phone calls, mostly ignored. But none of this would have happened without Aster 6.
Aster 6! Aster 6! Aster 6! Aster 6!
Yeah, I started a chant.
And I forgot to mention the Spotlight Award to Joshua Rogers and Illuminated Past for running the visuals for us. And, first off, if I can just say on the record, where would I be without Aster 6? Today is my 6th anniversary when we were married by Reverend Ivan Stang at X Day. What was I saying? I started turning a page. We've covered. Oh yeah, obviously working it. Dr. Purge. Good grief. Subgeniuses come and go. God, I love it when they go. Praise Bob. I hadn't heard of these guys until last year's Virtual X Day. And these individuals have asserted more fucking slack than I think anyone else here has. And this year's best local clinch representation goes to the Old Crow and Too Late Show camp. Thank you very much.
Fooling any of us with the nodding of your head and pretending like you know what we fucking said. Just so you know, we're all wise to that. I'm sorry that the sandwiches might have been a little soggy, but I'm gonna blame that on the rain. I'm sorry that all we brought for tomorrow's catering for the cast and crew is peanut butter and jelly and pool water. So, if you could, slather up and get that Yeti funk into the pool so that we all go back to our respective conclaves, clutches, and caves, and have a little bit of each and every one of us inside of us and probably need medical attention. But that's why we came. I want to raise hands of everybody who bought clothes to come to the nudist colony, like I did. Because I'm sorry, it turns out I didn't need all those pairs of underwears and socks at the nudist colony. I'm sorry.
You only needed one sock.
Oh, that's funny on so many levels. And I'm sorry that many of you don't understand why it's funny on so many levels, but that's why we're sorry. We're sorry for the show. We're sorry for being here. But most of all, we're sorry that we're spending this time with you. Oh, I probably shouldn't have said that. But you guys are swell. What a great audience. Let's give it up. For the audience. You're not even clapping for yourselves good. Okay? We got great artists up here, and you're not even applauding yourselves. Come on. I'm sorry. Fuck. I'm not sorry. I'm not sorry it rained. I planned for the fucking rain, okay? I was tired. I wanted a little nap.
Tell them about your plan for the rain, Peas.
Well, I did a little dance, and at first that didn't seem to work.
That
So
wasn't
I
the
had to
plan
blend
that
in.
I intended. I'm
And
glad you
it
had a
worked pretty
backup
good.
plan.
And then I did another little dance, but I think what did it is when Fid fell down and hurt his knee. And that's when God himself started to weep the deluge of tears that came down that his poor angel, Fid Chuli, had been injured on the pitch. And it's unfortunate because we were going to have an incredible segment of Chew the Fat with Fid Chuli, where we brought out a parade of fats and Fid would sample them and chew them. No words would be spoken, but yet at the end, Fid would grade the fats. And he would get extra points if he could determine which fat it was, but we never really got around to getting the fats, so it was just a lot of time watching Fid chew gum. But it is what it is. Am I done ranting yet? You said I had a minute, and I'm tired. I haven't had my sandwich
Seeing how
yet.
much longer I got.
And my
to stay, I'm
sandwich
sorry.
still better be in that damn refrigerator, Matt. I put 3 sandwiches in there, and one of them's got my name on it. Well, that's it. Who's coming up next to make the fool of themselves? It can't be our sacred scribe himself. He's not going to bestow upon us not once, not twice, but thrice in this very day more pearls.
And that's Peace's apologies for the week.
Echoey.
I'm gonna hold on to the rest for next week's show because there's only a couple more minutes But that was a good apology, Peas. I'm glad you were able to get that archived. And we got a lot of other stuff archived as well as performances by Rubik's Cube and the Sub G Kids. We do have those. Some of the other shows though, we're still trying. So if you've got footage, it's important.
And do it.
Send it to us. You can email a link to your shared P2P folder to Dr. Fox at DOKTORFAUX. You happy dippy boys. Last week we announced that we're trying to get the Slack wagon up and rolling, and wouldn't you know it, in just a week we've made it well over 25% of the goal. So if you want to help out, it's at gofundme.com/Dr. Fox and the Slack wagon. There's little dashes in between that. There's posts to that in the Discord. Check your announcements feeds, and do something about it. I'm Dr. Fox. And thanks again to Peas for showing up this week and going through our Clippy Doodles, all of our Patreon supporters, and everybody that's been watching us on YouTube. If you haven't done it yet, please hit that like button, yo, and hit subscribe here on Hypercube Go. And if you're listening to freethinkradio.com, do yourself a favor. Set it as your home page. Set it as your #1 bookmark. There's no reason you should ever open an internet tab and not be greeted by freethinkradio.com. Thanks to Dr. Ellis and Martha for doing all of that noise. I'm Dr. Fox, filling in for Flux Rutenberg, Aster 6, executive producer of the show. and Peas. We'll catch you next week when it's time for the show.
Goodbye. Oh, that was a good show, reminiscing about the X Day.
It was fun. I like the part where we talked about all that stuff we did one time. And
yep.
Yeah, that was good.
That was good. And then there was that time we said Fid was an angel. I like that part.
He's such a...
You think he is? You think he is? I think he really is.
He has the bone structure of one. He's able to float above the ground. The only thing that ever impedes him, I guess would basically be himself.
His bones are hollow.
He's much like a bird. You can just see him gracefully float. He didn't really trip and fall.
All Fid Julie ate all X Day.
He was blown into that staircase.
Beer.
Everybody gets hurt at X Day.
The fierce winds of Hurricane Elsa.
One way or the other.
We got a little taste of Hurricane Elsa. Alright, well, you guys may be jealous because you have whippets and I don't.
Who's got whippets?
I'll be fine.
Good night.
Well, somebody was cracking whippets.
Who?
I heard it on the radio. Maybe we were doing it then.
Maybe
there was a...
Yeah, there's several canister cracks in the background.
Yeah, I thought you guys were doing them right now while you were listening to the show, and I was all jealous.
No,
they were always doing nitrous, but it was just background noise from the video.
It's just the show piece. It's just the show. I can't huff church air and operate the board.
Not with that attitude.
No, I can't. I tried, and Fid was there. I blacked out. My head hit the desk. I went down. I took a dive.
Practice makes perfect. Good show. We'll talk later in the week, man.
What was good?
I thought so.
What was good about it?
The parts where there was a show.
Just that parts. Well, it was a lot easier having a bunch of footage to fall back on. We didn't really have to come up with anything to say. We just kind of presented things. We were We were basically like America's Funniest People, not literally America's
Yep.
Funniest People, but the comedy team.
Put up there.
Dave
Put
Coulier
up
and
there.
that other lady, a female comedian,
Like America's
a comedian made
75th funniest
specifically,
people.
not because there are women who happen to be comedians, but there are also comedians that do material for women. They're female comedians, kind of like black comedians, but not like comedians that do black comedy, but comedy for black audiences and African American demographics. Do you get what I'm saying?
I couldn't hear it. You cut out.
I'm gonna go.
I bet you it was good though.
What was?
I bet you it was good. What you were trying to say? We probably said something really good, but my end cut out, so I didn't hear it. All I heard was black people, drums, and something else, and I got uncomfortable.
It's only what you're hearing.
Background.
It's only
It's
what
that-
you're hearing.
It's that.
though.
It's that.
No
background-
matter
it's
what
that
comes
background
through, that's
music
what
you
you
play.
hear. That's the programmed
Correct.
inherent racism. Is that you're going to pick up on jungle
As-
drums every time somebody just talks about them. You're going to hear them in the back of your head just resonating. And you're going to think up a lot of
That's what
terrible
that's what they taught.
racial
what they-
slurs.
That's what they taught me in prison.
If we were America's Funniest People, which one of us gets to be Dave Coulier and which one of us gets to be the female comedian?
I would like to be Dave QA because then I could reminisce all nostalgic about banging Alanis Morissette. I bet you that was fun.
Yeah, but you have to do it in his Bucky Beaver voice.
Whatever.
You'd be able
I bet she's got good memories.
You could handle that.
I bet she sits back every now and then. I bet you one of her songs comes on the radio and he sits back and he laughs a little bit, goes, "Yeah, that song's about me."
He was the jackalope. Do you have a
He
jackalope?
was what was he in Full House? It seems like all the America's Funniest People eventually wound up working on Full House. Except for Jesse.
What did he get?
They're
America's Greasiest People.
No, he was a teen heartthrob at the time. He had a band and everything.
Yeah, but he was like 38.
Him and yeah, it was still like Keanu Reeves, you know. Still waiting for Dog Star to make it big.
Dog Star.
All right, guys, I'm gonna go to sleepy time now. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow.
What?
I tried to talk to you many times today, but you weren't on the airways.
Where? I was on earlier today. I was on for
I
a
even
good
called
chunk
you
of the
about
day.
something, but I forget what it was.
You called me? When did you call me?
Yeah. All right.
I have no
Yeah.
record of that. When was that?
It's sometime in the past.
In the past?
Sometimes in the
It
past.
says yesterday.
Yeah.
Yesterday.
Yeah, that would be it.
11:48 p.m. and I called you back at 12:45 p.m.
Did you?
Yeah, I did. It's got it right
Did
here.
you get a hold of me? I don't remember it.
I don't remember it.
I don't remember it.
What did you call me about? Were you
Excellent.
worried about something?
I can't remember.
You're still gonna do the show though,
I
right?
can't remember now. Yep.
We got a lot more.
But I'm going to go
shows do.
sleepy time right now.
We have. Yeah.
No, the shows are done.
Well, yeah, tonight's show is done, but we got to get ready for more shows. You know, we got to get ready for the next big shows. Did you know?
Well, that's why I'm not going to think about it.
Did
I'm
you know-
just going to
did
go to
you know-
sleep, and then it'll come to me.
You can coast on through.
Oh, you cut.
All right, go be and
You cut out.
Go BPs. Go BPs. Fucking peas. Oh, there you are. Okay, good. Sorry, I should have said I was going over there before I just went over there. But I think I accidentally disconnected before I could say that. I don't even know if that's coming through. Hello?